Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation or follow us wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcasts and YouTube exclusive content. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family. Hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Jay Andrea. We're going to be dilly-daddling a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about Snoop and Rick Ross at the inauguration. And then we're going to be talking about a funny story or an interesting story about my brother and sister from back in the day. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can call it. I can call it. Let me rephrase it.
I feel like that can't be your opening anymore because you can for the last few episodes you could call it.
No, there's been some times where I haven't called it.
True.
But I can call it this one.
Okay.
And here's the reason why. Ever since I got back from Atlanta, I've been on this chip addiction.
Yeah.
Now, I routinely go in and out, but in 2024, there was a 6-month period where I did not touch a chip. I'm talking about potato chips.
Yeah.
No munchies, no potato chips, nothing. So I know I can cut them out.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to.
Since I've got back from Atlanta, it's been bad too. Harris Teeter sells these kettle chips.
Okay.
The big bag for $2.50. I'm going through a bag a day.
Yeah. Here's the thing, live your life. This is the thing. We're at an age where it's like, yeah, we got to be conscious of our health and stuff because we're getting older. But also, as we get older, I feel like quality of life becomes more and more important. And if chips make you work out enough that you can have you some chips and not beat yourself up about it. Like,
this is true, but not a bag a day. The big bag, not the snack bag. If it was a snack bag, the family size, well, not the 3-pound bag. It's, how they go different tiers. You got the snack bag, you got the regular bag, and then you got the gigantic bag. I'm doing the regular bag.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's still a bag a day. So I decided, how am I going to cut this chip addiction? Because it's I guess I'm craving the salt. That's probably what it is. I'm craving the salt. Yeah. How can I cut this addiction? I'm going to OD on chips. So yesterday I ate 2 bags of chips. Felt like not the greatest this morning.
Yeah.
And today I'm going to eat a bag of munchies, and that's going to cure it. Also, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching the video, you might think, hey, Bruce looks like he's kind of swollen. I am, because I'm bloated as hell from all the salt and the chips.
The salt is just holding on to all that water.
Holding on to all the water. And I do not like looking bloated. I don't. I'm on this camera too much, and my face is out there entirely too much for me to be looking bloated. So yes, I need to cut this chip addiction, and I'm going to do it by ODing on chips. Today is the last day. Today is the last damn day.
Okay. It more sounds like you're giving in to your chip addiction.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And you're rationalizing it by saying, I'm just going to OD on chips and then it will cure me. But that's not how overdosing works. Because if it did, we'd have a lot fewer people on drugs. So I think...
No, I'm ODing to get to that, to get to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom, and I was almost there this morning, but I'm still craving. I'm like, I feel good. Like I took a shower and everything. I feel good. I can eat some more chips. I'm one more chip addiction day away from being cured, and I won't want any more chips for a little while.
Yeah. Again, that's not really how rock bottom works. Still, like, people hit rock bottom all the time, and then they keep going with their addiction. I think you should just like slowly wean yourself off chips, like have fewer and fewer and fewer each day until you're not eating as many chips. I don't think overdosing on chips till you get sick of it. I don't think you're gonna get sick of it. Chips are delicious.
No, I've done this before. I will get sick of it. And also I've got to make sure that they're not in the house. First of all, I need to go to the grocery store and buy my groceries for the week and not step foot in the grocery store anymore for that week. Right. That'll help solve the problem.
Yeah.
but it be these midnight drunk munchies that I'd be
Mhm.
like, I want some
Mhm.
chips.
Yeah. I'm on a popcorn thing right now. I'm eating a lot of popcorn.
You know what'll solve that? Nothing, because popcorn is delicious. But
Popcorn is delicious, yeah.
if
And
you
they
go
got, what is it? Not Pop Secret, what's the other one?
Smart
Red
Pop,
Oval Redenbacher?
mm-mm,
That Orville Reden the Redenbacher, they have something called ultimate butter now. Like,
mm,
it was butter, and then
mhm,
they had movie theater butter, and then
right.
they had, like, butter lovers, and now they have ultimate butter.
Not butter lovers.
I feel like butter lovers was a thing, and now
I
that
I I don't think that was I ain't never I done heard of brother lovers. I ain't heard of no butter
nobody
lovers. That's
nobody's I feel like butter lovers okay, now I gotta look at okay, so Act 2 popcorn has butter lovers.
well, I ain't never heard of no act 2. So
Yeah, Act 2 popcorn. But yeah, now they got something called ultimate butter, and it is delicious. And I just popped some. It's in the microwave. When we take a break, I'm going to go grab it. And so if y'all hear some
no, you're
in the
not
mic,
going
I'll
no.
mute. I'll mute.
No, just don't should have did that before we started recording. Okay.
Oh, I'm
No,
so obsessed with this popcorn.
yeah, no popcorn is hey look, me, it's the smart pop from specifically from Costco. I don't know what they put in that giant bag of the smart
Mhm.
pop, but I will go through it. Also, popcorn is better for me because it makes sure that I floss every single day.
Yeah, there is no way I eat that popcorn without a floss pick.
Yeah.
I am the first thing I do is I put the popcorn in a bowl, I go get a floss pick, then I sit down and eat the popcorn.
Jay, to
Yeah.
transition from popcorn and a chip addiction, another addiction that people had in this country went away yesterday.
Yeah.
It was last night. They said it was today. We're filming on Sunday. They said it was today, but it was actually last night. TikTok
Yeah.
is actually is gone. And what
Yeah.
pisses me off the most is that I recorded an episode having a whole segment talking about TikTok and Elon Musk talking about buying it. And then a news report literally comes out the very next day that TikTok said, nah, we just gonna cut it off on Sunday. And I said, damn, I did that whole segment. It was for
Mhm.
nothing. And TikTok is really gone.
It is. I tried to log on today and it's gone. Yeah.
I even tried using my VPN, logging in through Canada, and it still won't work.
Mhm.
They really the company is just like, oh, we're just gonna shut it down
Yeah.
completely, not bar the US, just shut it down completely. And people are heartbroken.
Yeah. And as well it should be. A lot of people um created on a lot of different platforms, but also on TikTok, like created like a life in
Mhm.
that it was their primary source of income. And not just that, it was a lot of creators of color making money and, creating a life for themselves and their families using TikTok that no longer have that avenue. And I know people are like, yeah, these apps come and go. They come, then they phase out and things like that. There'll be something else that comes after. But in the meantime, like everybody knows that the main platform I feel like people were making money off of recently since the pandemic has been TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's not just like Black creators, it's Asian creators, Latino creators, indigenous creators, like women, other underrepresented groups like the differently abled and things like that that are not just getting information out there about their communities, but also being able to like support themselves with their content. Um, I watched the Senate hearing. I watched bits and pieces of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing because it was honestly just embarrassing. With I believe it was the CEO of TikTok, who was Singaporean, and they kept asking him about his connection or affiliation with China or the Chinese government. And he kept responding, I'm Singaporean.
Yeah.
Like it's such an embarrassment, a threat to national security. First of all, the internet is a threat to national security. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
Like the internet in general, the moment you sign on to the worldwide interwebs, you put yourself out there You know what I'm saying? You put yourself, your information, your data, everything out there for potential, like, ne'er-do-wells, whatever.
That's a real. What is that? What is ne'er do
I
wells?
couldn't think of, like, nefarious characters.
Okay, well, not everybody's an English major. Stop using real strong SAT words. That's one that the majority of the population don't know. You just throwing out words.
I mean, you get it from the context clues. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I got it. I knew, but I was like,
n
I need a definition on that word.
a ne'er-do-well, that don't even sound like somebody that a ne'er-do-well.
Look, that could be a black name.
Ne'er-do-well Jenkins.
Um, yes. So what I was saying in my segment that I filmed was that yes, people are going to lose money. My main argument was at the time, and there's still some talk. There's whispers, rumors,
Mhm,
things in the background of
mhm.
Elon Musk buying it. And I was like, why would we be happy if he bought it?
No.
He destroyed X. I call it X now because it's no longer Twitter.
Ye
So it is a different platform. Like
Yeah,
he threw down, he destroyed the value of it. And
yeah.
it costs people money as he's destroying the value of it. So why would
Mhm,
we want him to take over TikTok? I do agree there is something to be said of a Chinese government owning a social media platform, developing algorithms that people cannot figure out
mhm.
and being able to take people's information and push stuff. But then again, Instagram, even though it's American owned, has the same capability of doing something
Yeah.
like that.
And
But you
also,
but you give the
no one
benefit
is
of the
holding the gun to our head and saying, "Sign up for this app." We are willingly accepting the terms of agreement,
yeah,
the
but
terms of use.
people don't read that. People
Okay,
don't
if you
read it.
if you are concerned about it, don't get on the app.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
again, it's not run by the Chinese government. He's Singaporean.
no, the CEO. It's actually owned by a Chinese company.
Okay, but again, you
Yeah,
don't have to get on the app. Like,
you don't
nobody is saying you have to be. I haven't been on since the election. I have not. I've not been on TikTok at all. I just logged on today because I saw on Instagram that it was gone. And
yeah.
I just wanted to log on and see for myself. And sure enough, it popped up. The little pop up came up that we are, due to the US ban, we've shut down. And so we're no longer available. So I, I just feel like, yeah, something else is gonna replace it. We know that, like, because the first iteration of this was what, Vine or something that was hugely popular, and
Vine was huge.
yeah,
Vine, there are Vine stars that
hmm,
became Instagram stars that became stars in movies and
yeah,
music and things
yeah,
like that. So there'll be something else replacing it.
yeah,
And hey, guess what? If you're an American engineer, develop something. but
yeah,
the funny thing is there have been other apps that tried to mimic Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, and they
hmm,
just aren't catching on like Twitter has.
yeah.
Some people know about Threads only because it's connected to Instagram. I told somebody about Blue Sky. They were like, "What is that?" I was like, "Blue Sky's actually been around for a while. It was for the longest time only invited. You can only be invited in,
Hmm.
but now it's just like, all right, we just go open it up to everybody. And it hasn't popped. Like some things
I've
just
never.
don't.
This is the first I'm ever hearing of Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, it is exactly like Twitter, but not
Yeah,
as popular
yeah,
as Twitter. And so is Threads, not as popular as Twitter. And Twitter isn't even as popular. So something
yeah.
might be replaced because Vine was popular, but nowhere near as popular as TikTok.
Right. Yeah. So the next iteration of this is gonna come out and it'll be even more popular. It'll be the next thing. So, like, I know that that's how this works, like, especially like social media, that's how it works. But still, it really sucks. I personally loved TikTok. My TikTok veered more towards political content, which is why I got off, to sort of hopefully like reset my algorithm. But by the time I'm ready to come back, they're like, "Oh no, we're gone." I'm like, "Oh, oh."
Well, originally my TikTok veered towards women shaking butts, but then it got political because yeah, I mean, I'm a creep on the social media.
Yeah, yeah.
It is what it is.
Eh,
Uh, uh, I, I'm not upset TikTok went away because I tried to grow my TikTok following, or at least a TikTok following for this podcast, and it would get a lot of views and some comments, and just the followers just weren't coming. So I was like,
yeah,
screw this. I can grow followers quicker on Instagram, and I have. So
yeah,
I'm not upset. And it's another platform that I don't have to post content on.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
also not really disappointed about that
yeah,
because it's coming up with these hashtags for all these different platforms. They're all different. They all have different type of engagement. Yeah,
mm,
I'm not too disappointed, but I understand why other people would be disappointed,
yeah.
especially those people that were out there getting money, because there were
Yes.
people out there getting monies.
And a lot of them have already like transitioned to Instagram and using Reels
Mm.
because they pop up on my, people I should follow or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I followed this person on TikTok. Okay, they're increasing because people were already gearing up for the TikTok ban. So you can still see your favorite content creators on Reels.
I don't know if the money is the same though. I think
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
money was easier to make. It was easier to pop on TikTok than it is on Instagram, just because Instagram has been around longer.
Yeah.
So TikTok was like, give us all these new people, and oh my goodness, there's a new person over there. Oh, there's a new person over there, and it was easier to do like duets and things like that. But
Mhm.
TikTok, once they started making it difficult to start doing music on TikTok,
Yeah.
that was already becoming a problem.
And I think you got the additional layer of TikTok Shop where content creators can, pick endorse products and get, a percentage of the sales if you go through there. So there were a couple different avenues that you could make money on TikTok that really aren't available on Instagram. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just feel like it was dumb and it sucks.
Damn, that now that you reminded me, I forgot I had a bunch of stuff in my TikTok shop cart.
Same. My cart was full of stuff, and I don't remember none of the things.
Not none of them. I
And
like
but it
that's
was
the thing that
full
I
of
am
little
a
gadgets.
yes, they hey look, my coffee table bought it on TikTok shop. I had
Yeah.
a bunch of different stuff. I wonder if I can still access the cart. I guess it don't
I
matter.
got I got this foot massager. I got an eye massager that I
Time about what's an
actually
eye massager?
yeah, it's like this little thing you put it's like goggles and it
Mhm.
massages your temples. It has pressure from like it'll fill up with air and then release so it does like a little massage. So
Nah.
it's for people with migraines, sinus headaches, things like that. And it works really well. And I actually did an ad for it and the company reposted my ad, but now I can't make no money off that because it's TikTok is closed down. So, you know,
Nah, I don't trust no
bugs.
eye massager. That sounds like it's gonna pop your eyeball out. I'm
It
not messing with that.
will absolutely not do that. So,
Well,
incredibly difficult thing to do. So,
I don't trust it. But anyway, speaking of popping eyeballs out,
no, that's not a transition to anything.
no, it is because my eyeballs damn near popped out of my head when I found out that Snoop Dogg was going to be performing at anything associated with Donald Trump's inauguration. And we're going to get into that next. All right, Jay. Like I said, my eyeballs almost popped out my head.
Yeah, shout out to that segue because I didn't think I didn't know how you were gonna make it, but you made that work, and I can't even be mad at that. Like, shout out to that segue
Let
because
me tell you something.
yeah,
When it comes to this thing, I'm getting a lot better. We're getting better.
yeah,
One before we get into this, one of our friends, one of our mutual friends, contacted me Friday night, and he
mhm,
was like, "Hey, send me the link to when y'all was talking about this." And I send the link, and it's literally on the 40th episode. And by the way, we're coming up on our 200th episode. This is 196.
that's
So
crazy.
we ladies and gentlemen, if y'all got some ideas of what we should do for our 200th episode, please send it to us because I
Yeah.
don't know what to do to celebrate that milestone.
And the thing is, I have a tiara. I bought a tiara for our 100th episode, but how in the world am I gonna get a 200 tiara? Like, I
I
don't know.
I don't know. But
Right.
they contacted me and they wanted to get the clip, and the clip was on the 40th episode, and I'm looking at it and I'm cringing. I'm
Mhm,
cringing for several reasons. I'm cringing for the setup, I'm cringing for the graphics, I'm
mhm,
cringing for the audio, the video, I'm
mhm.
cringing on the fact that like we weren't as polished as
Yeah,
far as this is concerned. And hell yeah, I've gotten better because that segue was phenomenal, if
it
I
was
don't
great.
say so myself.
It was great. I can't even be mad. It was great.
But speaking of the segue,
Mhm.
let's get to it. So,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross made headlines for their performance at Donald Trump's inauguration event, stirring a mix of reactions from fans and critics alike. Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross decided to perform at the Crypto Ball. They performed a celebration titled The Crypto Ball, which took place in January 19th, 2025, at the Andrew W. Mellon Auditorium in Washington, D.C. This event was organized by cryptocurrency executives to celebrate Trump's inauguration set for January 20th, 2025. So, for those people that are coming to, well, he was just performing at an event, the event was specifically to celebrate
Mhm.
President Trump being elected. Okay.
Yes.
The tickets for the event were notably expensive, ranging from $2,500 to $5,000, attracting a blend of celebrities, politicians, and crypto enthusiasts. Snoop took the stage alongside other performers, including Rick Ross and Soldier Boy.
Mhm.
Now, before I get into the public reaction and criticism, I just want to get your initial thoughts on the fact that Snoop Dogg, who, by the way, campaigned for Kamala Harris,
Mhm.
had a video that was completely shitting on Donald J. Trump
Mhm.
and shitting on anybody that supported him. This was just a few months ago.
Mhm.
Now performing at an event to celebrate Donald J. Trump's inauguration.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
It makes sense. Listen,
Mm.
um, as a lot of people know, Snoop was working to get Michael Harris
Harry O.
pardoned, which Trump did pardon Harris. So in a January 2024 interview with the Sunday Times, Snoop said that Trump, quote, ain't done nothing wrong to me. He has done only great things for me. He pardoned Michael Harris. So I have nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump. And this is not surprising to me because too often, and I'm talking to black people here, too often, y'all are willing to accept the bare damn minimum from people, and you give them flowers for it. If I don't know anything about Michael Harris, so if he was supposed to be pardoned or not supposed to be pardoned, I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I could give you a breakdown of Harry O after you finish talking.
But that is not enough to overlook all of the harm and damage that Donald Trump has caused and continues to cause and will continue to cause for this country. And the problem is, there's a specific term I want to use, but I'm not going to use it. It's rich black folks.
Mm.
I was going to use that word, but I'm not going to do
Yeah, please don't.
that. But it's rich black folks, and whose wealth has in a certain to a certain extent insulated them from, some of the disadvantages that black people have to face, right? The
That they
systemic
once faced.
that they once faced,
Yeah.
but now their wealth sort of insulates them against that, and they quickly forgot. And they quickly forgot about vulnerable communities, including their own community. And as long as it serves their self-interest, they're willing to do or support someone who is intentionally causing harm in their community. I find it absolutely disgusting. Not just Snoop, not just Rick Ross, Nelly. I saw you there too, buddy.
Yep.
We're not gonna forget. Quick question: where is Chrisette Michelle and Mary Mary? Gone. We don't. You ain't heard an album out of either one of any of them since.
I don't even know who that is.
They were former very popular artists. Mary Mary were gospel artists, and Chrisette Michelle was an R&B artist. You know that song? I think I'm just about over being your girlfriend. You don't
Oh
know
yeah,
that
yeah,
song?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So was popular artists, and they performed for Trump's inauguration, or they gave words of support or something like. And they ain't never heard of them again. Now there is this additional layer of them being Black women.
Mhm.
So the community or writ large is going to be naturally harder on them. And there's, you also have to combat the growing support of Trump within the Black male community. But like, y'all, and this is a common problem. I keep seeing it over and over. We saw with Lil Wayne. We see with y'all are letting y'all money blind you to the ills in your own community. And you think just because what you have a foundation or you coach youth football that you are exempt from any criticism? Nah, bruh. Nah. It's disgusting. Y'all ain't have no business being there. Okay, yes, he pardoned somebody. If they were supposed to be, well, his sentence was commuted. If that was supposed to happen, and now you gonna let me know? I don't know nothing about this dude. Okay, then all he did was the right thing. That doesn't mean that you have to go out of your way to participate in his inauguration event. What are you doing? Nelly is scheduled for the official inaugural event, the Liberty Ball, on Monday. What? Nah, man, I can't get behind it. Y'all lost me with that, and you can miss me with it.
So, okay. Yes, Snoop did in January of 24 come out and say, "Hey, Trump didn't do nothing wrong, to me," and he like commuted Harry O sentence, who I'll get into in a minute. But then in August, in September, and October, he's saying F Trump.
Yeah.
So how can you go from he ain't do nothing to me to F Trump to I'm going to perform at some of his events? It's the flip flopping for me. It's the
Yeah.
inconsistency for me. And
Yeah.
I'm a huge Snoop fan, but not no more. Not
Yeah.
anymore. Because
Yeah.
you got to stand on something.
You gotta.
You have to have a principle. You have to have a principle as a person, as a as a I don't want to make this gender specific, but as a man, me
Yeah.
being as a man, speaking as a man, you got to stand on something,
On
on
something.
something,
Yes.
right? If you standing on money, say that.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, bottom line is I'm about this money. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Cool. At least I know that you stand on that and that's the way you move, and I'll have to respect the way you move. But when you're going back and forth and back and forth, I can't respect the way you move in that regard either. So I'm extremely disappointed in Snoop Dogg. I've been disappointed in Rick Ross ever since he was calling Drake a white boy.
Yeah.
That turned me off of Rick Ross. Now I'm done. And you know personally
You
how I
love Rick Ross.
love Rick Ross.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I bumped Rick hard.
Rick was great. And
Yeah.
never mind the fact that he was talking about that he was a drug dealer and he was a correctional officer.
Yes.
You know what? I can look past that. I can't look past this. Now, who is Harry O? Harry O was one of the biggest drug traffickers in Los Angeles. When everybody talks about Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, not the rapper.
Yeah. Yes.
The real Rick Ross. Harry O was right there with them. Harry O is the one that gave Suge Knight the money to start Death Row.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a co-owner, co-founder of Death Row, and it just so happened that he went to jail and he didn't get his props. He was in jail the whole time of Death Row's run. So he commuted the sentence of Harry O, which, by the way, as far as I can remember, he wasn't convicted of a violent crime. It's heavy drug trafficking, and all those guys who were getting basketball score sentences should have been commuted. If you weren't attached to any murders, if they didn't prove that you were a murderer and that you was just selling drugs to the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't condone selling drugs to the community, but I mean, sometimes you gotta sell drugs to the community, I guess. But that's all he did, right? So that's who Harry O is. The whole thing bothers me. And I really want to get on not just them, but this idea of the Republican Party being the party of these manly men. You know how manly they are? I'm
Not
in here in
very.
DC. Well, I'm in here in DC and it's cold. You know, they moved the inauguration inside.
Mm.
It's gonna be at the Capital One Arena. It's not outside no more. So
It's
how
it's
tough are you?
it has always been. Everybody, listen, we have that wonderful meme of Bernie Sanders in that coat and gloves and them knit gloves that a supporter or a constituent had knitted for him, looking cold, legs curled, looking freezing. We have this
Freezing.
wonderful meme of him with that. But everybody knows you're gonna freeze a little bit going to the. I went to the first
Oh,
inauguration of Barack Obama, and I was frozen solid. But you walk that 20 miles from where you parked or where you got off the metro to the mall, and you go and you watch and you freeze, and that's what it is. And they moved it inside. Wow.
there are some people that have traveled. I saw a couple of interviews from Trump supporters that had traveled from far and wide. And they're
Mhm.
like, well, wait a minute. So are we going to get to see him or not? And they're like, well, I don't really know. And it's like, well, that kind of sucks. I traveled all this way and I don't feel bad for him, but I do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, but I do. And it's like,
Ha-
okay, you voted for this person. You should have seen this coming. He don't
I
care about you.
I wonder how much of it is he doesn't want those aerial pictures of the crowd size like he had at his first inauguration, where they compared it to uh
Obama.
Obama's inauguration, and they showed the very small, so they might like rope off parts of the
That
stadium so it
that
looks
might
like
have
more people
That
are
might have something
there.
to do with it, but
Mhm.
also, I'm gonna be real honest, it's cold. It is really cold. It is the coldest here that I ever remember it being cold.
Yeah, it's January in DC.
No, no,
It's
no, 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 no.
always freezing.
I done been here for 25 plus Januaries. This January is one of the coldest January. Let me tell you
Yeah.
how cold it is. I almost didn't walk to the store yesterday to get my bag of chips. Almost. Almost.
That's
Call back
not a
to the
barometer for anything.
It is because the grocery store is a block away. Harris Teeter
Mhm.
is a block away. But back
So
to Rick Ross, and completely forgot about Nelly. And it's just like, what do you guys stand for? If you
right.
support Trump, if you supported Trump the whole nine and the whole time, and that's what you represent, cool. And I can't respect it because you're supporting him, but I can respect the fact that you've been steadfast in the fact that you're going to support him. But it's the flip flopping for me. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, because they're going to give you money. I expect that from Rick Ross because
Yeah.
I never expected him to have any principles on any real thing because he never
No,
talks about
because
anything besides money.
yeah, and we know what this completely manufactured persona that he has.
Right. Like,
That brother, and you know what? It's about money for Snoop too, because what I am reading here is that even though people thought that death row was over, Harris went right back to work once freed, partnering with Snoop
mhm.
as the COO of an all new Death Row Records.
Yeah, Snoop
So
Snoop bought Death Row and took Death Row music off of streaming platforms because he felt that they weren't getting their money.
it's branded now as an NFT label and operating in the metaverse. Oh my God. It's about money. The one thing I feel like that came out of 2024 was this idea of standing on business,
Mm-hmm.
and which I love because there's too many people that's not standing on business. And as far as I'm concerned, Snoop is not standing on business. Rick is. He's playing into exactly what we all know he is, which is a
Fake.
yeah, fake, a
Yeah.
money grubber. Like we already knew that. Nelly, I mean, I get it. You ain't had nothing popping since Hot in Here. It might be a check to you. Ashanti is having, I think, baby number 2. Y'all got stuff. Y'all got bills to pay. I get that. Ashanti ain't had no album out in a while either. So I get it. It's about money, but just realize like you can't be mad at the backlash, and there is backlash.
Yeah. There's been a lot of backlash on social media calling, basically everybody calling them a sellout. And look, Trump, the reactions on social media include remarks suggesting that performing for Trump contradicts Snoop's past statements, which is what I said, with some fans announcing intentions to boycott his music after learning of his appearance at the event. Like, this is what we're talking about when you said Krishan Michelle and
Mary,
whatever the
Mary. Yeah.
Mary. Like, okay, look, I saw a headline on Fox News where they were celebrating Snoop Dogg being at the event. And it's so
Mhm.
funny because I bet you that I can look up headlines for Fox News when Snoop was talking ill about Trump and
Mhm.
watching Fox News bash him. And for my MAGA people out there like that, when do y'all stand on business? When do y'all say to yourselves, you know what, this is my man, and y'all talking ish about my man? I don't care if you had to change your heart. I don't rock with you because I know for a fact that if I rock with somebody hard and somebody is talking trash about them, I don't rock with that person anymore. They could
Right.
try to come back and weasel in and be like, I was just playing. We all good now. No, you said what you said. So you stay over there. And then as soon as these people that was talking mad-ish about Trump kind of like, I don't know, just give in, the
Mhm.
MAGA just welcomes him. JD Vance is another example of this. He called Trump Hitler. And I'm like, where's your backbone? As MAGA, where's your
Yeah.
backbone? Y'all say that y'all stand on principle. Where's my principled people out here? That's what I want to know.
They
Where's
don't
my principled
exist.
people?
They
And then
don't exist.
I have friends. I know for a fact I'm not even going to have the conversation with them because I don't want to hear what they have to say. Because I know for a fact that I have some friends that are just going to be like, so what? I like his music. I don't care. And I'm just like, well, what do you stand for? And I don't want to judge them
Yeah.
because they're not standing on business. Not everybody's going to be principled. And maybe sometimes me and you are too damn principled. Okay.
Not
Maybe.
not everybody's gonna be principled about everything, but I feel like you should have an overall value system
Yeah, that's what I think
that
so.
when circumstances come up like this, that you go back to your value system and say, is this something that I can support based on my own personal beliefs about like just human decency? And the answer is no. I can't support somebody who don't stand on business, period. Like, and it seems to me like you available to the highest bidder. And honestly, that is the definition to me of a sellout
Or a hoe.
or a hoe.
Being like, I'm be real honest. Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Nelly, and all of them looking
Don,
like a bunch of hoes right now.
Trump got y'all on the track and y'all running.
Running. Running. But they ain't the only ones. You got, well, Elon Musk, I think, got Trump on the track. But Mark Zuckerberg done turned,
Mm.
Jeff Bezos done turned. Like
That
all
I
these
get it,
sucker
right?
dudes. All these sucker
That I
dudes.
get it because again, it's about money. Yeah, Trump has already threatened to pull people's TV licenses. I mean, Jeff Bezos owns a company that has an agreement with the United States Postal Service. He also runs the Washington Post. Like, like I get like it's a hit to their business to be on the wrong side of a very vindictive person.
You telling me Amazon couldn't negotiate a deal, which they probably already have with FedEx and UPS, and just cut out the US Postal Service completely? Because I can tell you right
Not for
now,
not a substantial hit
well, I'm gonna tell
financially.
you right now, anytime you mail something, FedEx something, or UPS something, there is a significant difference in the time period in which it gets to you when you
Yes.
mail it than when you FedEx or UPS something.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this 2-day shipping, that ain't mailing, that's FedEx or UPS.
Mhm.
So how much is the mail really helping them? And also, you got more money if you what's a hit to your business? It's really, it might not even be him, it might be the board that's just saying, we're not going to do this, we need to, because when you open yourself up to being a public company, now you don't really, you got to answer to other people. And these people that buy in these companies, buy these shares, is like, what's the bottom line? We want to make money. Everybody about this money. Let me just say, the money is the root of all evil. I like money, but there's also
Love it.
things that I'm not willing to do for money. There is
Right.
no amount of money that Trump could ever throw at me that I would be at that inauguration celebrating his presidency. You could give me $1
No.
billion. He could say, I'll give you $1 billion. I wouldn't show up.
No, because I'm not a trick.
Well, I'm a trick about certain things, but not this.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for me, you can miss me with it. Y'all are it wasn't like I was bumping a whole lot of Snoop Dogg anyway. I mean, mostly it was with his collaborations with Pharrell. So really it was for the Pharrell beat. Because Beautiful is just a jam.
That's still one of my favorite songs.
It's just a jam. But that's because of the Pharrell beat, to be honest with you. It ain't really that hard to miss Nelly's music. The really, I mean, I can't bump Maybach music no more. Like while I'm driving down the highway at night, the city lights. By the way, do you know who sung that hook?
Christina
Chrisette Michelle.
Chrisette
Yes.
Michelle. Hold on. I think I found the end around to still be able to listen to Rick Ross music.
You go find a damn loophole.
I'm going to find a loophole.
No.
Yes. It's anything that he does from here on out, I can't support. But anything he did in the past,
still
we didn't know that.
Money in that man's pocket.
No, I'm not. Actually, do we put money in the pocket? I stream it.
How is that? They're getting money for streams.
Not that much. Not that much.
Yeah, but if all of us are still continuing to support us, so it's millions of people still streaming the music, they are getting money.
And am I streaming it now because I downloaded it onto my phone or downloaded it into my iTunes?
Yeah, that means you paid for it.
I mean, I paid for it through a monthly fee through my Apple Music. So, I mean, I've already paid for it. So if I've already paid for it.
No, but if you cancel Apple Music, it goes away.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, I'm already paying for Apple Music. So I've already paid for it. So he's not getting any more money out of me. So I can still listen to the songs that I already have. I just can't listen to anything new that he has. In fact, the matter is, the last great album that he had came out in 2019, and I haven't listened to anything since then. So that's not true. That's not true. 2021, but that wasn't a great album. But anyway, speaking of scamming folks.
Oh, boy.
And tricking for money.
Okay. All right.
We're going to get into the scheme you and our brother had back in the day. And we're going to get into that next. Jay, our father did a group FaceTime yesterday. And during this group FaceTime, I heard of a story. It was the first time I had ever heard of this story before, because you and our brother have so many shenanigans that I was never a part of and never knew anything about. That there's a bunch of stories out there that I'm just being introduced to now in my older age, because y'all are coming out with this. And one of the stories that came out yesterday during the conversation is a story of, what did you call it? The Kids Olympics?
The Kids Olympics, yes.
Okay, so I wanted this. I know you was like, do we have to tell the story? Yes, because I found this absolutely hilarious. Can you let the audience know what the Kid Olympics was and tell them the story of the reason why I find it hilarious? I find the story hilarious, but tell the audience, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll think it's cute.
The year was 1992. And there was the Summer Olympics in Barcelona. It was huge, okay? We had Dan and Dave, who were decathletes, and Reebok had this whole build-up campaign. And it was Dave, and they're like, who was the better athlete? And we would find out at the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. So it was like my first time being cognizant of the Olympics. And since that Olympics in 1992, I have been obsessed with the Olympics for the rest of my life. It is the biggest thing to me every 4 years. I'm obsessed with it. I watch every single event. I don't care what it is. I love it. I love global competition. So I'm into it. Okay, it's 1992. I'm what, 8 years old?
You were about to turn 8.
I was about to turn 8. So I'm 7 years old. And I'm like, this is the most amazing thing. Everybody's excited about it. How do I get in on this action? Right? How do I capitalize on the excitement around the Summer Olympics? Okay, in 1992. So behind our house, we lived in this neighborhood. It was like a mix of apartments and townhouses. And we were in a townhouse, and behind our townhouse, there was a big field that we used to play in. And I said, this is the perfect venue for the Olympics, but not just the Olympics. The Olympics for kids. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of like, that's the Junior Olympics. Well, hey, that wasn't a thing at the time. And I would like to think maybe I was the
catalyst
for that, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know when the Junior Olympics started, to be honest with you. I actually don't know that at all. But the point is, it was not a thing in 1992. Okay? But I said to myself, what if we had Olympic Games, but for kids? Kids are the athletes. This is a brilliant idea. And so I said, okay, how do I get this off the ground? Mind you, 7 years old.
7 years old.
I'm 7, almost 8. I said, how do I get this off the ground? Well, you need capital. You need money, startup money. So I had the brilliant idea, taking my entrepreneurship from Girl Scouts, where annually I sold cookies to our neighbors and our parents' coworkers. I'm going to take that same entrepreneurial spirit, and I'm going to go door to door in our neighborhood, telling people about the Kids Olympics and asking for donations to get this bad boy off the ground. So that's what I did. I took our brother, who was 5 at the time, no, 6 at the time, and we went door to door, and we knocked on people's doors. They opened it up. We were like, hey, we've got a great opportunity for you to get involved with the Kids Olympics that is being held right here in Lynchburg, Virginia. And people gave me money. I spent all afternoon collecting money for the Kids Olympics. I get home and I've got a wad of cash in my hand. And our mother sees this. It says, where'd you get the money? To which I then explained about the Kids Olympics and that I was seeking donations to get this off the ground. Rightly, she thought it was dumb, also a scam, and she made me go back to every person and return their money. Which, to this day, I'm not 100% that I did, because I think I might have left the house, but I had no way of remembering exactly which apartments or which townhouses, like who gave me what amount of money. Like, people just pulled money out of their wallets in their purse and just handed me cash. Like, I don't know who had what. So am I 100% sure that I returned that money? No, I'm not. I don't know if I did. I think I just went outside and then came back sometime later and maybe told her that I returned the money. But, you know, I had ADHD. There's no way of knowing who gave me this money. And how was I going to then explain to them that I was returning? It would just made it awkward for everybody. And it was just easier, I think, to hold on to the money, which I'm pretty sure is what I did.
Okay. So many questions. First question. what were you going to do with the money as far as funding the games?
So
What was your plan?
the money was for like, I had to buy equipment. We
What
didn't have
equipment?
uh,
What
uh,
equipment?
hurdles. How are we going to run track and field? How are you going to do the hurdles? I needed to have a track made. There was a lot of things. Like there's a lot of things. How do you do the high jump? How do you do the pole vault? You need the poles. You did this. I had to get all the equipment.
Okay. As you're watching these Dan and Dave commercials that were huge during this time,
Hmm.
you obviously see that they're training.
Hmm.
So, what in your mind made you think that kids would be able to participate in these activities that
Hmm.
grown adults were doing?
Field day.
Okay, field day was
Field
very
day.
much different than the
Field
Olympics.
day was kids Olympics.
But there was no hurdles, there was no high jump, there was
Yeah.
no
So
balancing beam, there was none of that.
so from what I remember, the events that I had in mind were geared more towards kids. Like I think my point of reference for it was field day.
Okay,
But still, I needed equipment. I needed equipment. And this was just it was just a field. Like it needed to be
built out.
built up. And
Okay,
that takes money.
all right. Where were you gonna get the kids?
The kids, same place they got the athletes. The kids come from all over and they compete to get into the kids' Olympics. It's the same.
Okay, okay, all right.
Because I would have had money for advertising, all of this stuff. I'm 7. Okay? I'm 7. I knew step 1 was getting money.
But get them money.
The rest I was going to figure out, but I knew step 1 was none of this was going to get off the ground if I
Without
didn't have money.
okay. How did you convince our brother to tag along with you? Because it seemed like this was your idea. Was he as enthusiastic about the Olympics as you were? Or
Yeah.
were okay, so y'all was watching together and you said, "Hey, why don't we go raise some money?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's go."
I don't think that he was watching the Olympics as closely as I was, but when I explained the kids Olympics, he was all in. He was all in, and it became a business venture. We were joint partners, 60-40 split. And
That
it was a joint business venture. And I don't know what you want me to say. I was 7. I was 7.
okay. And you don't know that you gave the money back. So
I'm pretty sure I did not give that money back.
how much money do you think you raised?
For me at 7 years old, $1 million. The real amount was probably close to like 25, $35. But
Okay.
in my mind, I just know I had a wad of because people were just handing me $1 here, $2, whatever they had on them. I remember one person gave me a 5. That I distinctly remember because I was like, I'd been getting ones all day,
Mhm.
and somebody handed me a $5 bill, and I was like, we're on our way. Like we are on our way. This is happening.
I'm glad we moved out of that neighborhood shortly after this
Yeah.
because y'all was the neighborhood scammers.
Yeah.
Also, I remember the field back behind the
Mhm.
place. Okay.
Mhm.
That place was a death trap. It was so
Yeah.
small, it was on a hill.
Yeah.
Okay. But it wasn't like a normal hill where you're a straightaway and it goes up a hill. No, it was a slanted hill
Yeah.
because we played football on that hill. Funny
Mhm.
story, since you want to bring up old stories, or since I'm making you bring up old stories, I'm going to bring up
Right.
an old story. There was a big light pole
Yes.
in the back of this field. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's a field and you need to have light
Yes.
on the field. Okay. And it's all grass. So it's not really a field. It's just a big area, a huge area with grass. So we're
Mhm.
playing football back there. And there's this big light pole, and I'm the quarterback. And my best friend at the time is the wide receiver,
Mhm.
playing 2-on-2 tackle football. It's
Mhm.
me and him and 2 other people. No,
Mhm.
it's 3 people. I'm all-time quarterback, which means and they're just wide receivers, right?
Okay.
So they're covering each other, and my best friend goes out for a pass, and I throw a beautiful ball to him.
Yeah.
and he's looking at the ball, and he's running at the ball, and he runs smack dab like a cartoon in this light pole. And I mean,
Hilarious.
face first, like the
Yeah.
pole hit him straight in the middle.
Yeah.
Face first, crotch all in the pole, his
Yeah.
legs flung up, his arms flung up.
Yes.
And all you hear is, you know how you take that pause when you
Yeah.
start crying, like, what just happened? He fell out. And I was like, oh man, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Why'd you throw the ball like that? I was like, you was hoping.
You were open.
And so
You were
this was
open.
a
Yeah.
death. This place was not
Yeah.
a place.
There was like a
to
little
have-
stone wall that one time I fell off of and my hand went through a rusted nail that was in the
Yes.
ground. Like it was not a safe place for children
that-
to play.
and
We
that
had a
stone-
playground.
We had a playground, and that stone wall was on a slope because the
Mhm.
field was on a slope.
Yeah.
So you would start in the stone wall at one end of the street, going to the next end of the street would be real low, and it would just keep going higher. We used to jump off of that wall
Yeah.
to figure out how we could jump off of things,
Yeah.
which was crazy in and of itself. So you really didn't think this through. And I
No.
wish I had known, because I would have been like, Jay, this sounds like a bad idea.
I don't
But
think you
would've
would
been-
have. I think you would have been excited about it.
No, I knew that field was a death trap. We only played back there when we absolutely had to.
I would have made you chief operating officer over sport. Like you would have been the person over the athletes, like you could supervise and making sure everything was like, because you knew sport. I think you would have been in on it. I think you would have said, this is a money-making venture. We're capitalizing on something it's very hot right now. The Olympics, 92 Olympics in Barcelona. It was just
I know the
electric.
dream team. That's when
Yes.
the dream team. I was
Yes.
all for it. Yes.
It was electric. And I just felt like, let's get in on this. Let's
It was an ingenious, non-genius idea. It was something. I heard this story as we were talking. I was like, wait, what? Why do I not know anything about this? I don't remember y'all doing it. I don't remember mom saying, hey, go take this money back. I don't remember any of that stuff. And I know y'all probably did it because the drugstore wasn't but so far away, and Now Laters was a hit during that time. So
Yeah.
I know damn well you and our brother went and spent that money up.
Yeah.
And fact of the matter is, if I had had my hand in the till, because we all know how trifling I was with money back in the day, well, and today, that it would have been an interesting conversation. But okay, so that's your story of
Mhm.
when you snuck people out of $25. How
Yeah.
many people said no and how many people said yes?
We got some no's like that. Like we definitely got some no's, but a majority of people saw a 7 and 6-year-old and thought,
Adorable too, y'all. was two
Adorable.
adorable kids.
and we're speaking very animated. They don't know that this is not something for school. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, they're not gonna know that this is not a real thing yet.
So you knew it was a scam.
I wouldn't have thought of it. Listen, we were a startup. And you gotta promise the investors something,
Yeah.
even though you really don't have anything but an idea or a concept. So, we had concepts of a plan. But I figure, hey, they're probably gonna give us money because whenever I'm selling something for school, like wrapping paper or some crap like that, so we can go to a field trip, or whenever I'm selling something, cookies for Girl Scouts, I never have a problem getting money out of adults.
Well, so Girl Scout cookies sell themselves. Y'all don't really
They
gotta
sh-
do much.
That's
Y'all don't
true,
really-
true.
Hey, sir, would you like to buy some? Hey, stop right there. Give me some Thin Mints and Samoas. I
Yeah.
didn't finish my spill. You don't need to. I know what this is all about.
Well, sometimes there were new cookies that came out, and you had to let them know, hey, Do-si-dos ain't the only thing we got going. Okay, we got
Screw
some
them
new
Do-si-dos. Screw them
Do-si-dos were my favorite. So
Which one was Do-si-dos?
The peanut
no,
butter ones.
Okay, Do-si-dos is good. I was thinking of the shortbread. I hated those.
You hate treacle?
Yeah.
Those Samoas and some milk. They're delicious.
No, mom would always get those, and I'm like, why didn't you get the more Thin Mints? Thin Mints was my thing, and
Thin
Samoas.
mints are absolutely terrible. I don't like mint, and I don't like chocolate in mint. And
Well,
they were, and still are, absolutely terrible. The best cookie is, in fact, the do-si do. If you like Samoas, I am not a coconut person, but those are also very popular.
I love coconut.
But people love them damn Thin Mints, and I do not know why. But yes, that's a story. It's not the it's probably not the first time. It certainly wasn't the last that I had a get rich quick scheme.
No, you're still pulling get rich quick schemes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still doing it. In fact, in class on Thursday, we had to introduce ourselves and say something interesting about us. And I let everybody know that I was a portrait photographer. And so if anybody needs new photos for their LinkedIn, let me know. And so somebody stopped me after class because he needs new photos for his LinkedIn. So I'm like, listen, this is an opportunity also for me to make a little bit of money. I know we're all working professional, or trying to get out there in the work world. You need a professional LinkedIn photo. I do headshots, so let me know. I will never stop. That will always be a part of in that entrepreneurial spirit. It came from our father. The apple don't fall far from the tree. He had a paper route, except he never actually delivered any papers. He hired other kids in the neighborhoods to deliver them papers, and he paid them a salary from his paper route salary. He gave them a small percentage to deliver the papers for him. And I just think that was amazing and wonderful. And that is the spirit that I have inherited. And you as well. Like, it's not like both of us are not like this. We are both like this.
I don't go getting startup money. I do my own venture, and I started with my own money.
No,
and then
you need
investors.
investors.
Yeah, well, I don't want being beholden to nobody, so I'm not going to give a pitch to go get money. Although I will pitch once again our Patreon page. At patreon.com/Unsolicited Perspectives, where you can get After Hours Uncensored and eventually Talking Straight-ish for $9 or just one of the shows for $5 a month. Jay, I think you already left people with something, but do you have any other parting words for everything that we discussed? It feels like you said everything you needed to say about this Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross thing.
Yeah.
But anything else?
Hey, a lot of times what stands between people and the things they want to do is just betting on yourself. So if you have an idea, bet on yourself and, get some investors, get that thing off the ground. Like, don't listen. It's okay to have concepts of a plan.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with my sister right now. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Whew, that was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspective.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you're really feeling generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.
Freedom over fame, the cycle stays the same. Freedom over fame. Freedom.